Hey, what's up guys, Loveday here and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be driving in the BMW 12.0 series, which is the M8 GTE, around Interlagos. I know this one was actually last week, so I recorded this one on Wednesday last week, but I've been quite busy. But here we are on our qualifying lap. Not the best lap in the world, but I was having a lot of issues with this car and this track combo. I think mostly because the last time I drove it I was in an F3 car. I was expecting to be able to brake and not, you know, just keep going, but that didn't end up being the case. I kept going. Locked up more often than not. But here we are coming round turn 4-ish? I don't know, I can't remember their actual corner names or numbers. You should know this by now, I know nothing. Coming up to this nice sweeping right-hander. This was one that I got down quite quickly, somehow. Probably not the best way to do it, or the quickest, but one that I felt comfortable going round at a decent-ish pace. And then again, as you can see the lights on the dash on the left-hand side, you can see my front locking up ever so slightly. I'm up on the delta by about half a second on that split, altogether around a second now. And then obviously using the cheating iRacing curb by not using any of the track and just using all of the curb. That way you can maximise your turn, or at least pretend to, and probably get it wrong like I do. Anyway, coming round the final-ish corner, this one's more of like a little kink, towards the line and coming in with a 130.7 or something? Okay, maybe not, a 130.1. So that was a 130.131, not the best lap time in the world. Let's see how on the fastest one at the moment is a 129.3, but I'm not getting there anytime soon. I know there is time to be gained, but not by me at the moment. Anyway, that puts us on P8 for the rolling start. It's, what is it, 12-minute race? You know, the usual with the 12.0 series. That's what the 12.0 stands for. God, my chair is so squeaky. Alright, anyway, rolling start. Now watch this. This is something that I've been practicing. Every time the guy speaks, you can floor it, so I managed to get a blistering start. Now, the thing that bugged me the most about this is the car behind me. I don't think he wanted a break. I don't know if he actually knows how to. But he carried on going, and that really kind of put me on edge. I thought I was going to get murdered from behind, so for some reason I decided to go slower. Not the way you want to do it, really, but anyway, we survived. We ended up in, I think, P7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm in P6, I think. Yeah, I'm now in P6. Yep, I can count. Which is up 2, which is not bad, considering. But obviously I'm not the fastest driver in the world. I'm barely consistent. And as you can see, I'm having a lot of issues with my lockups. So I came into this race with very little practice. Like I said, the 12.0 races are usually my warm-up races. And then again got busy, so I didn't actually get any other races done, which is annoying. But I do have this one recorded at least. But the main point of this video is that I was spending most of this race defending, which is coming up in a little bit. But yeah, no, I was defending for more of this race than I was attacking anyone. The guys in front of me were pulling away, definitely. There you go, a bit of defensive action coming up onto the tighter line for the first corner. Just defending that line, making sure no one can cut up on the inside. The outside line is also viable, but as you can see in front, there's a little spin, and I kind of panicked and stopped, didn't know if it was going to just roll out backwards, which upset the car behind, which, if you keep watching, I think, if I remember correctly, he gets a little touch, there he goes, and he's off. So the car behind killed the car behind. Well, the car behind killed the car behind me. I think that's how that works out. But anyway, as I was saying, I was coming off the inside line, you know, as you do, but you can actually go on the outside line on T1 and still make the pass as long as you're far enough ahead for the second part of the S. But now we have the number 15 car of Alex coming up behind me. Now he was on my arse pretty much the whole race. The car in front of me, the number 1 car, clearly is going to be, you know, absolutely flying away from me. Now back again on T1. As you can see, the car behind is half a second away. So he is really close, and he's pretty much stays there. There's not really much I could do to pull away from him. I just don't have the pace in this car and this track at this time. If I'd spent more time on it, then I definitely could have, you know, gotten at least a second. Because I was doing 131s. My qualifying lap time was at 130. I always find my race pace is slower than my qualifying. I just don't know. I just can't really figure it out. As you can see, it's literally right up my arse right now. And I'm trying to go a little bit defensive, so I kind of just hold the line as best as I can while keeping my eyes on the mirror. I'm just watching to see where he goes, see what line I need to defend on. Which is most of them, because I am bad.
That's the fastest lap.
Apparently I get the fastest lap there. As you can see behind, there's a big old gaggle, so there's 3 cars behind me that are also fighting for those positions. Which gives me a chance to slightly break away, but again, like I'm saying, I'm very slow, so I don't actually make the most of it, which is annoying because I wish I had. Going quite wide off the track there. The car behind me follows me. And more about track limits apparently, and that is basically the start of the demise of my 5th place. From there it kind of all falls apart. I end up taking some stupid lines like that one. Could have started wider, which gives the car behind me enough time to just close that gap. And again, like I said, the car in front of me pulling away, no chance in hell I'm catching him. 3 seconds already, only on lap 4. Coming onto the straight, I had a little bit of a bump, so I'm not sure if I'm getting the full speed that I can possibly get. You see the gap is now closing, 0.4.
That's half distance. Fuel levels are fine.
Apparently fuel levels are fine, thank you for that, Joe. Or Jim, I can't remember what your name is now. As you can see, he's coming up on right behind me, and I dive to the left just to cover the inside, because I knew he wasn't going to be close enough to get around the outside of me to be in the inside on this corner. But then again, I cut across and park it on the curb. He has nowhere to go, which means he slows himself down slightly for the straight, which gives me a better chance of outrunning the slipstream. But if you watch here, he's very close, and I do something stupid here. I make 2 moves. I cut across thinking he's going to come up for a defending or for an attack. I go defensive, then realise he's not coming up close, but I shouldn't have done the second move. I realise that now. But still, wasn't dangerous, he wasn't alongside me. If he was alongside me and I did that, or if he had a really good run, then yeah, I'd probably have had to have you know, bailed out and not hit my brakes, because that would have been bad. But anyway, coming through the tricky middle section, he's still right up on me. He's definitely the faster driver in this situation. As you can hear my tyres locking up. And then cutting right across to the right hand side here, just to make sure he can't make a run on the right. And then blocking again into the left. Just trying to make the car as wide as possible. Trying to get a good exit here, but it's vital for this really long straight. If you don't have a good exit, you are kind of stuffed a little bit. So anyway, fast forwarding back down to T1. Yeah, back into T1. Deciding to cut the course here a little bit, don't know why. And then holding up on the inside. Car behind had a really good run, so I cut across to the left. Probably shouldn't have cut across the pit exit there. I realised, and you saw me go to the right slightly. But then this time I don't cut to the right hand side to cut him off. I do let him have that line. But then I drive a little bit too deep, outbraking myself slightly, which is again a theme. And then I go to the right hand side, because it's a right-hander into a right-hander. I let him have the outside line. And here's where I make a pretty big mistake. I have a little contact there, nothing too bad. Went too wide there a little bit again, and then as I'm looking behind to see where the car is, I outbrake myself and lock up. Rejoined quite safely, I think, riding fully the curb. The car behind me knew where I was, it wasn't a blind spot, so he could tell that I was coming back on. So well done for them for not, wrecking me, and then it would have been my fault, but then also theirs, because yeah, primarily my fault, a little bit of theirs if they did hit me. But yeah, luckily they didn't, so we can carry on this race. And now it goes from defending to attacking. Now, again, I'm not fast, so being able to just keep up with these guys was quite nice. As you see, 1.7 thousand iRating. 1.7 thousand? Yeah, 1,700 iRating. Really just kind of finding my feet in iRacing at the moment. My iRating's slowly going up, but I'm still not quick. I don't spend enough time in the sim to really make some gains. But on the back end of the two cars that were behind me beforehand, just trying to see what I can do. I'm doing early braking to try and get a better exit, which I figured after the first two corners wasn't going to work. So now I'm just trying to go in qualifying mode, which again probably won't work. But right up behind, half a second gap now. Locking up again still, constantly. I'm just going to leave you with a little bit of gameplay here, with not me talking, just so you can see this last little push, and then I'll come back in a second. Alright, rejoining back on the final lap, and as you can see the car in front, its turn one has a little bit of a lock-up. I hesitate slightly, trying to push in behind him.
One more lap to go. That lap was a 1:30.79.
As you see, my lap times are getting slightly better, but theirs in front are a good 3/10 quicker than me. But I'm just sitting behind this car in front of me, just waiting to see if there is any form of mistake that I can capitalise on. Just waiting, I'm like a shark. a really unthreatening shark. That's what I am. I'm kind of the ones that just eat the algae, you know. Well, who are they? I can't remember what sharks they are. Anyway, the middle section, one that I'm prone to locking up on, but so is the car in front. I end up getting really close. And at this point I'm thinking, yeah, I can probably get him onto on one of these corners. And as I think that, he immediately dives off on the inside. And I'm thinking that's going to give you a slower exit, but then I run over the curbs and just give myself a slower exit. So I could have been right on him there. Anyway, coming up to the last proper corner, coming right in, I think, oh, he slipped a little bit, and then I did the exact same, clip the curb and just slow myself down, and that means that I'm not going to be able to catch him on the final lap. But all in all, that was a really fun race, coming in for P7. Obviously I would have liked a bit of a better result, but I also like being in a battle situation, because usually with races I end up either taking myself out or everyone else takes himself out, and I don't really have anyone to race against, so having a nice little race and battle is quite nice to have. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a like. If you really like, then subscribe and play with the notification bell and all that fun stuff, and I'll catch you in another video. Alright, cheers guys.